Okay, guys. As today, what we discuss, guys, we discuss about the core content workers. What is the task to create a core content worker? Create integration system. So we have created. So we have seen. So what are the steps and how we can configure the integration services, and then so we need to select few required integration attributes. Then we have to select the what are the fields we need to include in the output file. So those we can configure in the field attributes level. Under field override services, we have a eligibility criteria. What are the employees we going to include in the output file? Specific company, country, okay, pay group, those type of employees we can include, guys. So we have seen the sequence gender as well. Now we want to see today integration maps. So what is the integration maps? What is the use of integration maps? So integration maps means in Workday we are generating a one file like 1 minute, guys. Guys, 1 minute, guys. Guys, can you able to hear me now? Okay.
No, yeah, guys. Now it's up.
Okay. Thank you, guys. So what is the integration maps? Integration maps means whenever the vendor application, third party application needs a data modification. For example, in gender, we are extracting as a male or female in Workday, right? If we can observe, so here in Workday by default it's extracting as a male or female, guys. Yes or no? So in third party application need a MRF. Okay. The same way pay group name or company name, we are extracting as a different ways. Uh, employee status, for example. Employee status as a active, we're going to send as a A. If it's a inactive, we're going to send as a I. This type of scenario, how we can go, guys? How will you do? Using the calculate fields. What calculate fields we can do, guys? In gender,
True or false?
female, we're going to send as a F. In female, we're going to send as a M. Male, we're going to send as a M. Same as active status, we're going to send as a. If it's a active, A. If it's a inactive, we're going to send as a I. In this case, what type of calculate field we going to create, guys?
Evaluate expression.
Sorry.
Evaluate expression. And
Yes,
inside
correct.
that, we need to provide a true or false condition.
Yes, correct. So event expression we're going to create, guys. The same way we have a option in integration level, configure integration maps, guys. Configure integration maps. If we go to here, gender. So in gender section, so this is the default value, guys. For example, for male, we're going to print as a M. Female, we're going to send as a F, guys. Okay. If other than this, yeah, male and female, if we getting as a not declared or empty, is by default printing as a NA, guys. NA. Okay. And this is the marital status mapping. So we have a married, we're going to send as a M. Unmarried, we're going to send as a U. Device, so we're going to send as a D. This type of mappings we can do in the marital status, guys. Same as region, everything. National IDs also. If we are getting as a Aadhaar card, we're going to send as a. That type of national IDs we're going to give mappings, guys. We have a high reasons, termination reasons. Okay, these all are things we can do the mappings, guys. Okay, worker type. The worker type we are expecting as a casual, contingent worker, or temporary worker. So based on this, a regular. Okay, based on this, we can print a value, guys. Okay, so pay rate type, job classification, leave reasons. So this many we have, guys. Let's see, we have a active status as well. There is no active status field, guys. So we have a marital status and we have a other things, guys. There is no active status. So as of now, we can see only gender, guys. I'm going to run this integration. So launch parameters I can give a last successful run date is a last month. If you can observe guys, we have only 6 output files. There is no, yes, we have a 6 output file. So let's download this file. Why 6 output file guys? Previously it is in 8 output files. Because of we are extracting as a very less data. That is the reason guys. Okay. We have used a eligibility criteria as a very less people. Yes or no? So the worker count is 1. If we can observe gender information. See, previously it is in a female guys. Now it's showing as a yeah. Okay. So this way we can do a maps guys. Integration maps. So for example, if we go to include the few more fields guys, few more fields where we can enable guys field attribute section, right? If we go to here, you have checked the all the fields. For example, which field is not available?
Active state.
So we have active status, uh, employee status, active, and operation position. The employee is, we have a direct field as well. So in that case, okay, let's see. For example, employee age you need, okay, the business required to enable the age guys. You have checked the all the data sections, okay. There is no employee age guys. There is no employee age field. So if you want to include those employees, how we can include if there is no field? If there is no field, how we can include guys?
Configure
So,
integration.
so if you go to the integration services, okay, configure integration services, there is an option to select the integration services, right? Personal data section, position data section, what are the sections you need? Same way we have a, if you scroll down, custom integration services. There is a custom integration services guys. So using this, we if we want to include the any calculate fields, any other fields, if we want to include, we can include using this option. Okay, you just click plus button. If you go to here, there is a create option. Go to create always we going to create as a field override section, guys. Field override service. Create integration field override services, guys. Okay. Create integration field override service. Give a name as a INT 128 field override services. Okay. Business object, always mostly we can use a worker, guys. If we want to include the fields from the some other business object like location, organization, position. Okay. Based on the fields, you can select a business object, guys. How many fields you want to include? You can include multiple fields, guys, no problem. Okay. One is for age, one is for service date, means years of experience. Okay. One is for active status. Okay. You can define the name, guys. Okay. Once you define the name, click OK. Then it will come to here, guys. The name. Okay. Click OK. So if you want to include the different business object, you can add a one more plus button, guys, in custom integration services. If we go to the integration services, if we want to include the two more fields from the position data section, okay, you can click plus button. You can create one more field override service, guys. Okay, click OK. So we have created field override services. Then where we can configure those fields. If we go to the action of the integration system, under field override services, we need to go, guys. Previously, it is available only define eligibility. Eligibility criteria only we have, guys. Now we have field override services earlier we have created, right? That one also available here. So if we click on this option, it will show age, year of experience, active status. Okay, these three fields we have given, right? So we can check directly. We have a direct fields. Age, year of experience, guys. From higher grade to till today, how many years he having for this company? Okay. So do you have a direct field, guys? We have to create a calculate field. What type of calculate field?
Mm, Date difference.
Yes, correct. Which business object, guys? Worker. So what is the start field?
Hire date.
Till today, right? We can include only years, guys. Okay. Return 0 and others. We can include this calculate field into here. Okay. So same way, is active. The active status, it is a true or false condition, guys. Which means it will give say if its employee is active, it's printing as a true or false, guys. Okay. So we have used the all the three fields. Click OK and run this integration. So on which section it will be available, guys? Let's observe. So address data section, okay, email data section, status data section, position data section, so identification data section, under additional information, under additional information. So we are extracting a data as a custom fields, guys. Okay. What are the fields you given in the field of overhead services? Those fields will come under the additional information, guys. Additional information tag, which is the age, year of experience, and active status. Why means yes, no means a that implies inactive. So his age is prior value is a 51, now 52. Year of experience is 24 years. Okay. So this way we can add a more fields in the field overhead service case. Okay. If we want to include the any calculate fields or any non-available fields in the core control worker, we can include using the field of overhead services. Okay. So these are the options, guys, for the field overhead services. Let's go to another options. Maps. Configure integration notification, guys. So we have seen the EAB integration as well. So whenever the integration page complete with errors, warnings, those fields we can we can configure the notification here, guys. Okay. So we don't need to check the notification now. Let's see field attributes. So what type of data is not coming? Let's see. Okay, any field is we need to select as a middle name, for example. Okay. So I have select as a middle name, guys. So and I select as a required for this field. If any employee doesn't have the middle name, those employees will be how it's giving the error messages, guys. Let's see. Okay. So I'm selecting as a required field checkbox, guys. Okay. Let's click OK and run this integration. See, guys, we have extracted an output file. This contains none of the employee, guys. Okay. And if we can observe total 15 errors we have. No value output for the required field. Middle name for the following targets are affected. Steve Morgan. For the Steve Morgan, we don't have middle name, guys. That is the reason. Actually, this employee should be included in the output file. But for this employee, it doesn't have the middle name. So that is the reason for the all the employees doesn't have the middle name. So that's why none of the employees included in the output file. Okay. Even those total 15 employees have the changes. Those employees have the changes, but they don't have the middle name, guys. Okay. So this way, this function will be used, guys. This the required field function is used, but in real time, don't use those options, guys. Required field option. Okay. It is a impact to the performance the integration, guys. Okay. So we can use these fields in the XSLT level. Okay. So I will tell you how we can include the in XSLT level. Okay. So these are all the options for the core characters, guys. How we can create a core character and what are the options we have to configure: attributes, field override size, maps, sequence generators, everything. Okay. So the final version is configure integration transaction log services. Okay. Transaction log services. So which is a very important, guys. Let's see if we can observe there is any option to that. No, right? If you want to include those options, if we go to the integration services, there is a transaction log services, guys. Worker transaction log service data section. Transaction log services one option. One more option is transaction log data section fields, guys. This is the fields, guys. Okay. This is the service, guys. Service is different and fields is different, guys. Fields means what are the fields you want to include for the transaction log. Service means what we going to discuss right now. Okay. Transaction log service. Let's click OK Let's see. So now we have a configure integration transaction log service, guys. Okay. If we enable the fields configure transaction log fields, those options will be available under the field attribute section, guys. Under field attribute section, it will come to here one more option as a data section, transaction log data section fields, and we need to select the what are the fields we need to require. But this integration service, it will available only here, guys. So by default, it will select as a subscribe to all transaction type, guys. Okay. If you want to override, if you can click the checkbox, guys. The checkbox. Okay. So we here we have a remaining four options. Okay. Subscribe to specific transaction type. For example, you want to extract only high transaction. Assign multiple assign pay group event. Okay. So any specific transaction you want to extract, guys. Home city data event change. If home address change, home contract change, only those employees you want to extract. Only hire employee. If we want to include only new hire employees, we don't want to include the any other changes, guys. Yesterday we have seen the position title got changed. Those employees will be not extracted, guys. If we select this option, okay. If we want to select a specific transaction type, we can select it. Okay, we can select and we can run this integration. Let's see. I select as a higher option here. Okay, left click OK. If I rerun this integration or run the integration, and giving the last successful date is a August 1st. Effective date also I'm giving August 1st, guys. So how it works, guys? August 1st to till now, any employees hired between these dates, only those employees will be extracted, guys. If any other changes will be not extracted, guys. So previous run we have seen total around 15 employees got extracted, guys. Okay. Now those all 15 employees will be not included in this output file. Let's see. Total 11 employees, guys. 11 employees got hired, guys. 21141, which is the higher rate is a. So why this employee is extracted, guys? Higher date is not in this between date range. It is higher date is a 2001, guys. Why? Because of this higher got corrected, guys. Correction happened, guys. That is the reason this higher got extracted. Okay. Let's see for the another employee. So this is the new hire, guys. If we can observe, the staffing event also is showing as a high, and the high date is a 2024 August 20. So we have selected from August 1st to till date, right? So only higher date got extracted, guys. Only higher employees. If we can observe for the other employees, this is also high. This is the high 2022, guys. If we can observe the other employee, this is also high. Why? Because of the prior values, nothing will be there in the prior values, guys. Okay. So this is the high. This is also 22, guys. This is also higher, guys. If we can observe other employees as well, all the transaction will be extracted as a higher, guys. See, this is also higher. This is also higher. This is also higher. So this all the transaction have high transactions only, guys. If any other transaction will be captured, guys, no, right? So why? Because of, guys, so we have select as a in the transactional services we have select only higher event, guys. If I select the subscribe to all transaction type, okay, so we will attract a more number of people, guys. If I select done and I'm just running the without date changes, guys, I just rerun this integration. I did not change any dates, guys. I just rerun the integration with the selecting of the all the subscribe transaction to subscribe to all the transaction type, guys. Not only high, it will extract the termination, personal data change, any changes, guys. Okay. Previously, we have a 11 members, guys, count. Now, if we can observe, total 22 employees, guys. Previously, it is in 11 members. Now 22 employees, guys. If we can observe, this employees previously not extracted, guys. This employee changed as a the position title change. Okay. So this way we can define the transactional service, guys. If we go to the edit transactional services, okay. If we want to include the multiple transaction, we can include, guys. I options, anything else, home contact change, benefit changes, anything else. If we want to include multiple transaction also, it will allow, guys. Okay. Anything we can, if we include only this four transaction, if any employee have this any four of this transaction happening, only those employees will be extracted, guys. Okay. So subscribe to all business process. Subscribe to all business process means it will extract the if any business process got triggered for this employee. Okay. Any business process got happened for the employees, so those all the employees will be extracted in the output file, guys. Okay. Subscribe to all business process type accept. So this means we don't want to include a higher record, guys. We don't want to. So previously it is a only included data will be extracted, guys. This is accept. It means if you include the higher transaction, higher employee record, which employee got a higher record, those employee will be not extracted by the integration guys. So except a higher record, if any other changes, those employee will be extracted guys. Let's see. So I'm running the same integration guys without changing the dates. How many employees we can expect guys? I'm running the previous integration guys. Same large parameters. I did not change any dates guys. How many employees you will expect to extract by integration guys? 18 employees. So this employee, not a higher employee. This is the changes file. This is also not a higher employee guys. If we can observe, staffing event is active. High date is a different 2000 year guys. Okay. This other change guys. Address line date. I think age got changed guys. Okay. Now for this employee also not a new hire. If we can check, any new hires will be extracted by the integration. This employee is a new hire guys. Staffing event is a hire. Why this employee is coming as a hire? Because of it's considering as a prior value guys. Prior value is a empty and the current value is showing as a data, right? Due to that it's extracting the data. Let's we have to check. Subscribe to all business types except higher business, higher employee. Okay. Why? Because of guys. So if you open any one of this employee, higher employee, this employee. So what we selected guys? Subscribe to all business process types except higher business process, right? So for this employee, why this employee is extracted? Let's see. So other business process also triggered for this employee guys. Not only hire guys, not only hire for this employee, other business process trigger with the same date. So that is the reason these employees got extracted guys. If you want to exclude these employees, we need to configure this all the business process guys. Okay. So this way we can select the subscribe to all business process type except this higher business process. Okay. Subscribe to all transaction means it will include the all the transaction guys. Same as we have a subscribe to all the transaction types except any other specific transaction guys. Okay. Same as this business process, right guys? Same way it will work guys. Okay. So this way this all the transactional services will work guys. Okay. By default it will select as a subscribe to all transaction type. If we want to include only specific transaction type like personal data change, contact information change, new hires and termination, only these four we want to include. We can include subscribe to specific transaction type and we can select those four transaction here and click OK guys. If we want to extract all the business process, all the transaction, you can select this option and click OK guys. Okay, run this integration guys. Okay, so this way this transaction log services will work guys. Okay, so here the transaction log services also we cover guys. So there is a one interview question guys, how the change detection logic will work for the core control worker. Okay, change detection logic, it means what are the based on the which fields or which data section the changes file will be extracted guys. Okay, so based on that what are the options to include the output file guys? Tell me guys.
Sir, can you repeat the question?
How the change detection logic will work for the core control worker? You mean based on the which services you selected, right? Based on that, so how the employees will be extracted and which changes based on which options employees will be extracted, guys.
As based on the launch parameters we use.
Okay, one. We have other options as well. The first one is a transactional services, guys. Sorry, first one is a eligibility criteria. So which employee want to include in the output file? So we can define in the eligibility criteria, right? Only those employees will be included in the output file, guys. Okay. The second one is a launch parameters, guys. Okay. What are the launch parameters we have given between the date range? Any employee have any changes? Only those employees will be extracted, guys. Okay. Third one is a transactional services. Okay. Based on the which transaction you selected, only hire or termination, personal data change or home contact change, only those transactions will be extracted guys. Other than other changes, other business process, those changes will be not captured in the output file. And the final one is a what are the fields you selected? Okay, based on the field changes also the employees will be included in the output files case. Okay, these are four parameters to include the employees change detection logic will work for the core control worker guys. Okay, so this is about the core control worker guys. Okay, so we'll see more options available for the launch parameters guys. Launch parameters is a very some difficulty to understanding and we have to check more examples on the launch parameters guys. Okay, we'll check tomorrow how the launch parameters work. Okay, so tomorrow we will check the all the 7 launch parameters, how it working, everything. Okay, so till now any doubts guys? Till now any doubts? Any doubts guys? So we have discussed today integration maps and transaction log services and custom integration field override services guys. If we want to include the calculate fields or some other fields you want to include, we have discussed about the custom integration services, guys. So we have discussed three topics today. Prepared well, guys. If any doubts, let me know. If no doubts, we can close the call today, guys. Okay? Do let me know, guys. Any doubts? Okay, guys. We'll discuss tomorrow about the launch metadata and it will close the